What's going on, Dirty Nerdy Geek Squad? Welcome to Spooktober, scary movie month, Halloween month, horror movie month, all the good stuff. Year 2, day 3. Today we watched 12-Hour Shift. Now this movie was a movie. It was definitely that, right?
What?
I said this movie was a movie.
It was terrible.
It was a
It
movie.
was worse than The Room.
You think it was worse than Room?
I really do.
That's funny.
At least that was funny.
All right, so this is said to be a comedy, thriller, horror movie. It was made last year. It stars David Arquette and Mick Foley, two wrestlers. David Arquette I know more as a actor than I do a wrestler, though. Mick Foley I know as a wrestler. That's beside the point. Okay, so this movie, 12-Hour Shift. Let me give you a synopsis of this movie. This movie starts off really slow, really sad. Not great. Okay, you're kind of like, okay, I'm gonna end the life of a nurse. I'm going around doing whatever this nurse stuff does. Then you slowly realize that she's into trading organs on the black market, right? And I don't even know if you can consider it the black market. It's just like a group of people collecting organs to give to other people. Call it the black market, sure, whatever. Beside the point. It's set in 1999, the year before the Y2K, so that all the police are worried about Y2K or something. In this Arkansas town, everyone's got the hillbilly accent going on, you know. You don't even know what to expect when you're talking like the hillbillies, right? So yeah, you got this going on. The main nurse that you come to find out is the character you're following around the whole movie. She is a drug addict, you learn. I guess her whole family's a bunch of junkies. It just kind of goes in a circle, right? It's kind of boring, and I don't understand why this is considered a comedy. She's like killing people, her patients. She's addicted to drugs. She doesn't really have any sympathy, but she doesn't consider herself a murderer, even though she's killing everyone with bleach, which I think would ruin the organs, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't the
they
bleach?
have like a whole process.
Yeah, she's like killing people with bleach.
On life support, they take them to the OR, and then they take out their organs while they're technically still alive, like on the breathing machine. So their organs are still being perfused. Because like when you die, like your organs also die.
Yeah, everything does. There's no
like
blood
they
pumping.
don't find bodies that have been down for like 3 days and like, yeah, let me harvest these organs. Like there's nothing to harvest. There's no alive tissue.
Yeah, I don't.
All dead.
It's silly because she's like killing people with bleach and then taking their bodies, giving them to someone else to take the organs out, and then the next day she gets the organs and hands them off to her not cousin by marriage. It's a mess, all right? And the story kind of didn't make sense because the not cousin has only been working there for a week, yet she's the only contact who picks up the organs because no one else there seems to know the nurse who gives the organs to these people, but it seems like they've been doing this job for a long time, taking organs, buying them, giving them out. There's something wrong there with the time loop. But they misplaced 2 kidneys, so they got to try to get another kidney, and like the not cousin ends up start killing people trying to get kidneys, and she doesn't know anything because she's not a nurse, even though the nurses aren't autopsy people, nor are they surgeons, yet these nurses are going through and cutting people up and taking their organs, and everything is hunky-dory. So chaos just happens at the hospital. People are dying. People are getting their throats slit. Pandemonium breaks out. What was once a slow-moving, sad story of this nurse and her family and her being just the worst turns into another person being even more the worst, and just chaos unfolding. One of the bad guys is like superhuman, basically, because he's very strong. Gets stabbed in the eye. Gets shot. He just keeps going. He has no pain going on in him at all. It's like he's just all adrenaline all the time. I don't understand. And then it ends. Everything gets resolved. The bad guy gets blamed for the killing. A murderer gets let loose into the city. And the movie ends. She goes back to work. That pretty much sums up the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was absolutely awful.
The only time I laughed was, and this is supposed to be a comedy horror, the only time I laughed was when the cop made a stupid joke. He said something like, this is going to be one of those nights. And a different nurse said, you can say that again. So he says it again. That was funny. That was a dumb dad joke. That was it. That was the only part that made me laugh. Now, would I consider this horror-tastic?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I concur. I don't think this was a horror-tastic movie. Sure, it's got the blood. It's got the killing. It's got someone going crazy. The lack of remorse for the killing. The bad guys. But horror-tastic? No. It's in my opinion, a really shitty action movie. Sent around this nurse who's a drug addict.
They had a really good storyline, not a plot, but an idea, and they just went the wrong way with it, the way that they.
This movie won an award. Hey, Wednesday, that new thing you're supposed to be scratching the bottom. We got this thing for the couch so the cats can scratch. They haven't caught on. The idea, sure, the idea could have been good. They could have made this a horror movie. They failed on all aspects, in my opinion. What was wrong with it? Everything I just said. The whole synopsis. I think I did the story more justice than the story did. You listen to me for these 7 minutes was a more useful and less waste of a time than that movie. Me messing the sentence up is better than that movie. I'm telling you, you can watch it. Go ahead, watch it. Come back over here. Tell me, hey, I really like that movie, CJ. Tell me that without lying. Tell me that you enjoyed that movie. Why did this movie win an award? I know making movies is hard. I understand that. I understand it's hard to do writing. It's hard to do directing. It's hard to do everything. I get it. But come on. Really? If someone wants to let me make a movie, just hit me up. I'm almost positive I can make a better movie than that. And if I can't, then I will never review another movie ever again. But that's not going to happen. So
I could literally strap a GoPro to my head and go to an actual 12-hour shift, and it would be a better movie than that whole thing.
yeah, but you wouldn't be stealing organs.
Huh?
That was the whole plot of this movie, was the organ stealing, which made it a horror movie. You don't do that during your 12-hour, 13-hour shift. I'm just saying, I probably could do a better movie on less of a budget with less actors. So what was wrong with it? Everything. Everything was wrong. Favorite character. I think the serial killer was my favorite character. The guy who did nothing. He attacked a cop one time.
Mine was that patient who kept saying he was busy.
Oh, the gay guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy too. He was pretty funny. He walk in, hey, can I get a room? No, you can't have a room. Go sit over there. And so he'd go outside because It was too much for him, and just randomly would show up throughout the movie. I guess he was supposed to be a comic relief.
Yeah, he's like a frequent flyer.
I didn't think he was like super funny or anything, but he was enjoyable to see. He found all the organs. The reason the organs kept going missing is because he kept finding bags of organs. So I guess that's funny now in retrospect. Now that I see that, um, still not a comedy. Still not funny. Yeah, I guess one of them two would be my favorite character. Favorite scene? Go ahead. What's your favorite scene?
Probably the scene in the morgue where the cop walks in on her, like covered in blood, just like
Doesn't know what's going on.
Job or some shit like that.
Yeah. So the scene she's talking about is the main nurse. She's trying to cut out the kidney to get the second kidney, so that way everything's hunky dory and square with the mob or whatever they are. Cop walks in on her after she grabs the kidney out. She's trying to pick up the body and put it back on the table. The body is so much bigger than her drug addict self. She is literally half the weight of this giant dead man.
And they did a good job, like, portraying a drug addict.
Oh, yeah. She's 100% what a drug addict would be. IRL. So she's, like, fumbling and blood's everywhere, and she's slipping and sliding. I think that was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. But he walks in, and he's, like, doesn't know anything about doing nurse stuff. So he's like, you look like you're having trouble there. Let me help you. And he helps pick up the body, put him on the gurney, turns around, grabs the bag with the kidney in it, goes, "Oh, this is gross." He's like, "I probably shouldn't be touching this, should I?" And then puts it back down. There's other shit, but favorite scene for me. Favorite scene. That was a good scene. It was okay. I don't know. The ending scene was probably the best scene. One, because the movie was over, and two, homeboy's like, "I have these 2 bags of guts here.
Full of organs, like
This one has like 7 different organs. This one has 1 small one. Oh, now you guys want to pay attention to me now that I got guts in my hand." And everyone rushes on. That was a pretty good scene. Most of the movie comes off as like this very sad movie.
very dry.
It's just
bland.
It's just kind of sad. So I couldn't find many fun facts about this movie. The only trivia I even found, which is trivia, it's not even like fun facts or anything. But Mick Foley and David Arquette are both wrestlers that have won a championship. Mick Foley 3 WWF and 1 TNA. David Arquette 1 WCW. Interesting. Fun fact. All right. What would I rate this movie? 1. I don't recommend going to watch this movie. I thought it was going to be better than it was. It was rated a comedy horror. Things I love. Literally, check yesterday's video. I love these movies that are rated, said to be horror comedy.
I mean, Nick Cage did a better job in Willy's Wonderland. He literally had 0
0 lines, and just all of Nick Cage's lines from yesterday's movie were better than this entire movie.
His body language is better than the entire movie.
No, his entire line. Because the only things he said in that movie were, huh, that was it. He made noise when punching things. All those noises, which were like 3 seconds, were better than this entire movie. So I give it a 1 out of 5 scoops. Don't go watch it. Watch this instead. Make fun of me. Tell me how bad I did. But I promise you, what I just gave you in these 15 minutes or so is better than that movie. Allie?
0.
You can't go 0. Lowest is 1.
1.
1. So you get 2 out of 10. A don't see. Not spooktacular. Not horror-tastic. Not anything worth a dang. There you go. 12-hour shift. Supposed to be good. Was supposed to be a comedy. Was supposed to be horror. Was supposed to be about nurses, which is like the trifecta here in this household. I love comedy. I love horror. She's a nurse. She also loves horror, and sometimes she loves horror comedies if they don't make her bored or uneasy because she doesn't like dad jokes all the time.
I can handle yesterday, but this one
This one sucked. Sorry to tell you guys. All right, peace out, squad. I love you guys. Be good. All that jazz. If you like this video, let me know. If you hated it, just tell me. If you've seen this movie and you like this movie, tell me why. Okay. Peace out. Love you guys.